Hello again, Michael Friedberg here from beautiful North Carolina with the last video of 2019. This is going to be my 2019 wet shaving in review video. Got a couple things to cover, slightly different format than last year, but first things first, I want to wish everyone all the best for 2020. Happy New Year. 2019 has been a year of some pretty incredible things. We're going to go through and cover as many of those as we can, but I want to say first and foremost, I hope you had a fantastic holiday and all the best for 2020. Happy New Year to you and yours. All right, I have notes. I've had to make notes like last year because there's so much ground to cover and I don't want to forget anything. So let's cover topic number one first. Man, I had some fun this year. I hope you had some fun shaving this year as well. There are some really significant and some great highlights. Number one, wet shaving meetups. I went to two this year. The first was the North Carolina's wet shaving meetup. That was a blast. I got a chance to try things like a heritage shaving brush. I got to pick up the custom scent there, which was the scent, the Eau de Te from Katie's Bubbles. I got to try the new soap and aftershave from Southern Witchcrafts, which is the Southwind scent. I got hit in the head with some Swedish fish again. Thank you, Chris Cullen. That was a true joy. And I walked away with some unexpected goodies, including a homemade aftershave from Brandon and some Katie's Bubble soaps I didn't expect to pick up at all. That was fantastic. Great to meet people there. Great crowd of people and just a lovely time. Followed by the Louisville meetup, which was also a tremendous amount of fun. That started off with the distillery tour. There was drinking of bourbon. I will say that in our particular tour, we were joined by people who may have already been on a number of those tours preceding the one that we were in. There may have been a bit of drinking in their case, which is totally fine. That's what you're there for. We then had the meetup, which included prizes and giveaways, and then dinner, which was fantastic. Lots of great people to meet, really fun conversations there, and a chance to pass on an unexpected gift to a friend, which was really great. The look on his face was well worth the surprise and a little bit of secrecy. Okay, the next thing that was fun was the Lather Games on Reddit. Now, this is a month-long event, the month of June, in which every day is a themed shave. So they've created a calendar. Every day is a different theme, a different setup. You had to try to use a different razor, different soap, different aftershave to try to meet the theme. And it was a contest, and people could win based on the points that were allocated. It was a really great community event. I did participate every day. I used a different set of products. I did a full write-up every day, which actually was more work than I expected, but still fun. I got to provide some people with samples so they could try to meet some of the themes, and they sent me some as well. So it was a great sharing opportunity as well. And people just did a great job being generous with each other to try to help each other, meet the criteria for every day. That was just an incredibly fun event and just something really different to do. I posted a complete write-up every day. And I also included a bit of a prank, a bit of a wordplay on Jason Rudman for his low Rudd score on the fine shaving soaps, in which he and I simply disagree about the quality, but that's just how it is. And I knew, having put all this work into the lather games, I was going to win. Maybe not win, but absolutely top three. And then to realize at the end of the lather games, when all the scores are tallied, that I didn't even place. Not even close. Did not even come close. Well, anyway, that was a crushing defeat, but for which I have rebounded completely. Not to worry, all is well. That really was a lot of fun, even though, again, I didn't even place. Anyway, giveaways. I have done a ton of giveaways this year. That included full shaving kits. That included some mystery boxes of giving away razors and brushes and soaps to people, both on Reddit through contests, on YouTube through contests, but also just people around me. There's people at work and other, for example, my wife's office, where people were trying to get into wet shaving, and I've just passed on product after product after product. I still have too much stuff, but I would have even way too much more stuff if I had not gone through those giveaways, and they're really, really fun to do. So if you have entered into a giveaway, thank you so much for entering. If you've won, I hope you're enjoying the products that I sent you. I hope that all went well. It's great to hear if you've received your product and you're enjoying it. It's always great for other people to kind of get your own review of what those products look like and how well they work for you. Is mailing things to Lithuania easy from the US? I would say not as easy as you would hope, but even that package, which sort of fell into this weird black hole, made it there safe and sound. So I was very, very happy to hear that. YouTube and YouTube comments. So I just want to say thank you again to everyone that is participating on the channel. I love seeing the comments. I read through every comment, and if you comment, I will reply. I feel like if you're taking the time to comment, I'm going to take the time to reply, and I'm hoping to be able to keep that up through 2020 as well. I know it kind of comes in waves because sometimes there just isn't time in the week to do it, but just rest assured, I am reading all the comments and I am responding in kind to the comments you're posting. So again, if you are commenting, thank you so, so much for that. It is just one of the highlights of the week for me. All right, speaking of highlights in an almost pro level segue, as they say, let's talk about just two numbers for the year because we did a bunch of numbers last year, but nah, whatever. I think I did 49 reviews this year, so 49 review videos, and I did also pass 7,000 subscribers. Now, the subscriber number does not really correlate to who watches the videos. There's kind of a weird, interesting imbalance there where a lot more people watch than are subscribed to the channel. So that's kind of an interesting balance there between a number that looks like it matters, and maybe it doesn't so much. 2019 was a year of a tremendous number of new and improved products. So you can think about things like soap bases from Southern Witchcrafts, or Zingari Man, or Dr. John's, or Abati La Mantilla, or Holy Cow, or Barrister and Man, or Declaration Grooming. The list goes on and on and on. And people are really, really pushing the envelope on soap bases. You can kind of continue to see pressure on things like post-shave quality, or how easy it is for a soap to lather immediately. You know, you think about just kind of general face feel, or how much water a soap can take, or the kinds of scents that people are using in their soap. Like Southern Witchcrafts is really pushing the envelope on a certain kind of scent that clearly is finding an audience because people are snapping those things up, and power to them. They're doing a great job of that. There are a lot of new razors. So you think about the safety razor market and they all kind of look the same. And if you're a new wet shaver, it's kind of a bit overwhelming sometimes to figure out like which razor to fall into. But even with that, you are seeing vendors produce new razors. So we had new razors from Carve. There was the haircut and shave. That was the N075, the neutral exposure razor. That was really quite nice. I got a chance to try out the Razorine. You think about somebody like Yaki, who is, you know, a Chinese vendor or reseller or an OEM, but they themselves are producing new head designs as well. So we had things like the Yaki slant. You know, there's things like that flip side with the, you know, the two comb designs. There's been a bit of a resurgence in heads that are using half of a DE blade. I don't know exactly why that is, but you can kind of see a trend building, and having had a chance to use one of those, you know, that did shave great. I'm not sure it offers any benefit over a full DE blade, but there you have it. There's still some innovation, some change and growth in the market. And you also had Gillette bring out a new safety razor. Now, I'm kind of on the camp that says that was kind of a new safety razor. I understand that it may be an attempt to figure out like what interest there is in the market, and if a Gillette were to sell a Gillette branded safety razor, how much interest would there be? But I don't know how much new wet shaver interest there is in a safety razor from Gillette, because it doesn't really mean much to them. That's much more of a nostalgia play. But I still feel like they kind of, if it were me, I would have chosen a different design, maybe a different approach. But then again, I'm not Gillette, and clearly it's sold like hotcakes. So that is a very positive there. I'm kind of hoping they go back to their own designs again, because I think that's really where Gillette has, you know, a real strength to offer, which is bring back some of their heritage or legacy designs and really have another impact there. Let's not forget, congratulations for Supply for their Shark Tank win. I don't know what's going to happen to them. That might be a huge surge in their sales. I hope it provides a real boost to their business. I'd love to see more people using those razors. That's a very, very good razor, which I just used last week. And it's going to be really interesting to watch and see what happens to those guys. But it's a great sign of the fact that there is a lot of interest in changes in the wet shaving market and a bit more of a mass market appeal for some of those razors. And power to them. I wish them all the best. We're also seeing new synthetic knots come out from a number of Chinese vendors. So you can think about the various types of knots you can see from somebody like DS Cosmetic or from Yaki or maybe even from Omu Brush, which I've not tried those knots yet. That'll be something I'll do probably in 2020. And I think I predicted last year that there was going to be some some expansion in the options available in synthetic brushes, including different color combinations. And I think, in fact, we're seeing that there's a couple of vendors that are producing different mixes of colors in things like the tuxedo knot and others. And I think some of those knots look fantastic. Those color combinations add a real pop to the brush, especially given the incredible growth you're seeing in style and design and color combinations for the brush handles. And you can just see how amazing that growth really is there. It's no longer just a standard black or white or faux horn, a simple vase style or a chubby style handle. Very impressive changes in that market. Don't forget, you also had those vendors providing gel tip badger knots, which I think is a nice addition. And I just hope the more people get a chance to use those, the more people that buy them, hopefully the price will come down and that'll become more of a standard offering. I also got to try, which I really enjoyed, a number of vintage products this year. So it can't always only be everything that's new, and I'll talk about that in a little bit later. I got to start off the year with the Colgate Barber's Puck, the Williams Golden Lather Cream, which I think is from the 50s. Burma Shave is kind of around the same time. That Colgate Barber's Puck I think is from the 30s or 40s. That was a very old soap. And they all performed great. I mean, no issues with those vintage soaps, including the cream, which still worked exactly as expected. There were also some really fun and kind of unexpected shaving items, and this seems to happen every year, and that's mostly because people are incredibly generous. The Dr. Selby shaving cream, which I never expected to see because frankly it's very hard to get. That was a really fun thing to do. The Park Avenue shaving supplies that my colleague brought back from India, I didn't really ever expect to get to use those. I kept thinking, man, this would be great. This would be a fun thing to use. But there they were, the aftershave and the shave foam in an actual kit. Water buffalo soap from Greece. If you told me 2 years ago I'd be shaving with an artisan shave soap from Greece that was based on water buffalo milk, I might have snickered and laughed like, yeah, that's going to happen. But yeah, that did actually happen, and that actually was really a quite nice soap. And let's not forget, there was the Brandum, the homemade bay rum aftershave, which I got at the NC Wet Shavers meetup, which again, totally unexpected and really a very nice product. And then on top of that, I have a tub of an unlabeled Katie's Bubble soap, which I think Chris Collins said had been curing for 3 years. So that's been drying and drying and drying. It's an unlabeled white tub. The scent is likely completely gone. Doesn't matter. I cannot wait to use that at some point in 2020. And it kind of highlights the fact that people remain incredibly generous with their time, sharing their products, talking about the things that they know about, and passing on things for other people to use. And I just want to say thank you again so much. It means the world to me, and I really appreciate your generosity. I try to match it on my own by sharing out the things that I'm getting as well. I'm hoping I'm able to, in small measure, match your generosity back to me. So that goes both for individuals and for vendors. Thank you all so much. Are there some bummers this year? Yeah, there's a couple, but really a very short list. We've had to say goodbye to a couple vendors, including Mickey Lee Soapworks, which is a big bummer. I was lucky enough to grab a full tub of the Drunken Goat and then another bottle of the Colonia di Agrumi aftershave. It's unfortunate that they've had to shutter their shop. Maybe they'll be back. They closed for the right reasons, but they are definitely going to be sorely missed. I had to miss the Maggard meetup this year, and I'm going to miss it again in 2020. The timing and dates simply do not work out. It was fantastic to kind of follow along and see what people got to do there. It's going to be a big turnout again this year. And if you have a chance to go, I would highly recommend it. It was absolutely a wonderful event in 2018. And then the final bummer is people are still blooming their soaps. I'm going to be going on a crusade in 2020. I'm going to try to destroy this if I can. Maybe it's not going to work out, but still, I'm going to fight the good fight. I'm going to see if I can bring this nonsense to an end. No more blooming your soaps. Okay, here we go. I did not do this last year because I found it really difficult to do, but I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do picks of the year. These are the things that for me really stand out in my usage. If I had to pick, these are the things that I would pick for the year. It doesn't mean that everything else is no good. It just means that for the things that I would want to use the most, these are the products that I would pick. So let's go through them. Best razor of the year for me has got to be the Carve aluminum. It looks fantastic, very light. I just like this texture on the handle a bit better than the one on the stainless steel. They're both about the same. This one just feels a little bit better. I just think this razor looks amazing. It's light. This is the C base plate. It just offers amazing shaves. It's so easy to use. I'm using this all week. It'll come up in a review at the end of this week. This is my razor of the year for 2019. Love this thing. Very, very good. Oh, best blade. Let's not forget best blade before we move on. It's got to be the Pulse Silver, these vintage Visamet. It's a tie between this and the Persona 74, but you can barely get those Persona 74s. And I got a huge number of shaves out of this blade as well. Luckily, I still have a significant number of these packs. Not as many as I would like, but I've also given them away to people because other people should have a chance to try these as well. Really enjoy these blades, and I'm going to be sorry to see them go. That is my blade of the year. Oh, best brush. Best brushes, I should say, because it has got to be, despite very stiff competition, and this was a year of the brush. Honestly, there was a ton of them. It's got to be my two custom Dogwood Handcrafts. This, of course, comes with the Declaration Grooming B7 hand-tied gel tip badger knot. This is an amazing knot. I love the handle shape. I love how this handle turned out. Shape is really easy to hold. I love the color combination. The wood in there just looks amazing. And then this final one, which was the second custom brush, is this barrel-shaped handle with this reseated Zenith boar hair knot, which this is just an amazing brush as well. Love those two brushes, 100%. My brush is of the year. There were some great brushes from other vendors. There was a bunch of vendor gel tip from DS Cosmetic, for example. There's some really nice synthetic brushes from Yaki. They've sent a number of mixed badger or mixes of badger and other synthetic knots. Not that the knots themselves are mixed, but I got a variety of knots from those guys. All those have been fantastic. But if I have to pick, it's those two. Best soap. Well, better late than never, because this came in very late in the year, but it's the Holy Cow, the Fougere Mania. This is the Talos Sierra base. Fantastic soap. This just proves how far vendors continue to push their soap bases. They may be minor incremental changes, but they are still incremental changes. And I will agree that this is certainly an expensive product, but also an extremely high performance product. And I'm extremely glad I was offered a chance to go back and review this. This is 100% fantastic soap from at least from my position. Well worth the money. Very, very strong performer, and my soap of the year. This was a really tough one. The best aftershave product. This is going to seem like a very weird set of choices to you, but in fact, I was having an extremely difficult time picking because I've used so many, and I kind of move between a variety of aftershave products, whether it's splashes or toners or tonics or serums or balms, whatever it might be. So I have a couple, and one of these, this first one, may make you laugh, but it's the Kyovu from Barrister and Man. This is just an excellent, excellent aftershave splash. Calming, soothing, a great scent, an excellent sort of skincare product as a post-shave product. Unfortunately, no longer being made, but I wanted to just highlight again, sometimes you have products out there that simply just maybe commercially are not viable, that this was an excellent product and deserves another mention as one of the aftershave products of the year. That's going to be followed by this unscented balm from Zingari Man. I've been trying to use this a bit more because in fact this does really well for my skin. It's got the right texture and consistency for me. It is unscented, so it can go over any aftershave splash you want to include it on. Really enjoying this balm, and has been working quite well for my skin. Followed by a different type of product, which is another balm, Sutsi Soap. And this is a lot like the Chatillon Luxe post-shave salve. This is a slightly heavier, waxier, denser feeling post-shave balm. Best applied to a slightly damp face and then work it in. Also, very, very good results for my skin as a post-shave. On top of that, this scent, the Lemon Rose, this Lemon Rose Sheeper, was just a fantastic scent. Just beautiful, and very nice to see soap makers and scent makers come together for their collaboration. Now, there's one issue. I have to just point out again, I do like the feel of an alcohol-based aftershave. So that Zingari Man unscented balm, for example, is probably what I'll be trying to use more of, something like that for the course of the year if I'm using an aftershave splash, because I just really enjoy that face feel. I'm going to be following that, and I think in just a much more diligent way this year with an unscented balm. I haven't been really that good about being disciplined about doing that every day. That's just timing wise in the morning. But this year, that's one of my New Year's resolutions, is to try to just take better care of my skin, on my face, which is, as you know, because I've talked about it openly over the course of the year, it's not always great. And if you have skin issues, you really got to kind of pay attention to it. It's easy in the rush of daily life to forget, but it's worth taking just a few extra moments, a minute at best, to do a bit of self-care there. Okay, now, this may come as a bit of a surprise because this is not something I normally do. I am not a frag head. I am not a scent person. But I was lucky enough, and I didn't realize how lucky I was to win this at the Louisville meetup. This is the Weinstrasse from Chateau Lux. This is the Eau de Toilette. And I just have to say, I just want to give props to Chateau Lux for producing this. This is an amazing scent. I've been wearing this on a very regular basis. Like I said, I'm not normally a frag head. I'm not a perfume person. I don't really wear eau de colognes. It's not really something I normally do. But the scent on this is so good that I find myself using this on a very regular basis. I want to give big props to Sean and Chateau Lux for producing this. They are starting to win some really good, serious recognition and some awards for this work. This is a beautiful, beautiful scent. And if you've not tried this yet, even though you might not be into fragrances, I can highly recommend this. This is my first ever fragrance of the year. Beautiful stuff. Fantastic job. Super well done. Well, that's it. I know that seems like we kind of raced through that, but that's really it, the year in summary. I just want to say thank you once again to all of you who continue to watch these videos, who continue to contribute with your comments and your questions, who are sharing your products and your experiences with me. It means the world. I just want to say thank you again so much for everything. I hope you've enjoyed 2019. I hope you've been getting some fantastic shaves. You've been able to buy some new products, maybe enjoy some old products that are new to you. And remember, I would also just counsel you again to try to explore and experiment. It isn't only always the super newest stuff that matters. You may in fact find something old that you love. For example, so remember, there's a lot of stuff out there. Try it all and see which things work the best for you. I will see you in 2020. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And until next year, goodbye.